Hello, my name is Isaiah Sendejas, and this is my vlog entry 1. This is my language learning autobiography. I am an English speaker only. I come from a Chicano family. I was raised in a Chicano household with my parents, my mother and father, and my older sister, Allison, and my paternal grandparents, who I call Lita and Popo, which are like kind of Spanish terms for grandparents. So, while the overwhelming majority of the language spoken in my household an early time was English, my grandparents did speak a bit of Spanish to me. Uh, Both sets of my grandparents never taught their children Spanish because they struggled with learning English in schools because they spoke Spanish. I have not asked my grandparents how their experience learning English in schools was, although I can imagine that it was a different time period, and there's been a lot of emphasis placed on English language learners in the classroom as of recently. However, I would probably guess that it wasn't the same in their youth, so I would understand that decision. I began speaking English early. I was probably less than a year when I said my first words and sentences, according to my parents at least. Um, I would say there was a lot of language spoken in my household, and I was also placed in daycare at Westbury Baptist, which is located in Southwest Houston, with a large Anglo population, large white population. So the majority of the language there spoken there was also English by far, as well as in my elementary school at Parker, which is down the street from Westbury Baptist, also situated in a majority Caucasian neighborhood, which I attended on a magnet transfer. Um, there's a large Latino population in the neighborhood I grew up in, as well as adjacent to Parker. So there were always a lot of Spanish speakers around me, but I could not really communicate with them because I had never learned that language until I got older, when I started to learn more on my own terms, because it became more important to me to become connected with my culture and my roots, and also to be able to communicate with people from my culture and understand their viewpoints. And now, especially as an educator, to interact with the students in my classroom as well as their parents, because I am a student teacher at Mitchell Elementary with a large Latino population. I believe 60% of the students are Hispanic. Not that they all speak Spanish, but there's quite a few in my classroom that are proficient in Spanish and English language learners at varying levels. I remember taking Spanish classes in middle school and high school. However, my experience was not very engaging. I remember by the time I got to high school, my teacher was just telling us the answers for these fill in the blank worksheets. So I was not ever really too enticed to learn the language in that setting. However, as I got older, I started to have more relationships with Latino people, just from my community and in my personal life. So a large portion of them have had parents that mainly speak Spanish, and it's kind of been a struggle to communicate with them. So I've really taken it upon myself in the last few years to learn the language, and I think that the majority of that has come from real life events, of course, which are more engaging to people and more. I feel like people will remember these things more, which kind of translates to my theory of in the classroom, like respecting the cultures and languages of other people that are spoken, because in order to communicate, we need to understand common grounds and just viewpoints and things like that, which are very unique to everybody. And those things are best translated through, I believe, like real personable conversations, for lack of a better term. So that is me in my language learning autobiography. I'm proficient in English, and I'm attempting to learn more and more Spanish every day. And I'm very interested in trying to reach the students in my classroom that are English language learners, because I see them every day, and I just think of the tools that I wish I had to relay more information to them. So I'm looking forward to learning more. Thank you.